Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. My name is Vinny, and I'm joined with today's guest, Shirley. She's selling her Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Shirley. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thanks. And really looking forward to talking about your FBA business today. And just before we find out more about it, let me go over a brief summary of the business for our listeners. So today's listing is an Amazon FBA business in the baby care niche, and it was created in March 2018. The average monthly revenue for the business is $42,084, and it makes an average of $11,197 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are the Amazon Seller Central account with 5 SKUs, domains and all of the site's contents and files, an email list with roughly 50 subscribers, trademark, design patents in China and the US, 2 copyrights in the US, social media accounts, and supply contracts and relationships. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the listing price, and further details can be provided to active buyers. You can head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 49272 to learn more about the business. And if you want to start your due diligence, just remember to unlock the listing first. Shirley, so that's a very general overview of the business, but let's just find out a bit more about you. Can you tell me a bit about your background in building or running online businesses?
Sure. Well, actually, I had 2 careers before I started this FBA business. My first job or my first career, I was actually in export. I was in manufacturing, and then we export furniture to shops like Louis Vuitton and also Chanel, a couple of high-end luxury brands. So we help them build their in-store furniture, help them do their shop fitting. So I have the open shops. So that's why I was based in Paris and London for a while, for a few years. And then after that, I moved on to my second career. I was in hunting, talent acquisition. So the last job, just before I started my FBA business, I was actually the talent acquisition manager for APAC region. World First is a currency company, and it has been acquired by Ant Financial. I was actually quite happy there. But then the reason why I started this FBA business was because I got pregnant. It was a miracle child. And however, I had a really high risk, difficult pregnancy. I got hospitalized a couple of times for threatened miscarriage. So after a few times of being hospitalized, the doctor just told me that, you better just have bed rest for the rest of your pregnancy to avoid any risk. So I wasn't able to work anymore. So I resigned from that job. And that was a perfect time for me to really focus on building my own business, something that I've always wanted to do for a long time, but I just never really had the courage to a pretty well-paid job to just take the leap, to start something from scratch. But it was the right push, at the right moment. So I wanted to do something that I could, manage and grow from home, basically from the bed, literally, because I had to have bed rest. So I spent time to learn design, basic design concepts, and also to learn how to FBA business from scratch. So I didn't know anything about FBA before, so I just spent that 9 months to learn. And then my first product was, basically, all of my products are baby related. So they are all the products that I myself was trying to buy for my baby as a mother, because I felt the actual need. But when I look at the market, there's a gap that I feel that the products should be very popular, but there are not enough supplies or not enough really high quality products available. So, and then I also used Jungle Scout and also Helium-10 to help me sort of verify the demand and the supply. And I realized actually those products that I realized that other people want to, they have a high demand and low competition. So that's why I started to launch my first few products. So, and in funny ways, I was basically almost literally giving birth to my baby and the business at the same time. Because actually I was on the phone to my manufacturer when I was actually on my way to the hospital. I was having contraction. Yeah, so I was hold on, it hurts. But then I said, I'm okay to talk now. Yeah, it was crazy. So I was placing my first order when I was going to deliver my baby. And yeah, so after like putting in a lot of hard work in the very beginning, it took me a lot of long hours, but after they got launched, after they started to get reviews, things just became quite smooth. And then my products they were all designed by myself using the quite limited like design skill that I learned during that pregnancy time. But thankfully, I'm grateful that my products are really well received and they got really great reviews like very quickly. And then so two of my products actually sort of dominated that category within quite a short time. And a lot of like copycats came into the market. And that's the reason why I had to protect myself by, to prevent people from copying me and ripping me off. That's the reason why I got this design patents in the US and China, and also got the design copyrights for my products to protect them so that I can remove the copycats very quickly and very easily on Amazon. So that's about it.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. There's lots of twists and turns. There's a lot to unpack there. So obviously it sounds like you've got an impressive resume of, working in sourcing, supply chain management, especially for a lot of big name brands. That's obviously served you very well in starting up this business. And, and bravo to you for taking that leap of faith, like you say, from leaving a very well paid job that you're clearly very good at doing to starting up your own online business, which is no easy feat. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So obviously it ties in quite well as well with, like you say, as you got pregnant, you're still on the phone with your suppliers and stuff. But I'm glad that, everything's worked out and obviously you've gave birth safely and you're here with us today. That's a really good background story. That basically covered all the questions I wanted to ask you about your business. But I wanted to ask, because, our listeners will be wondering, given the success of the business and the growth, why are you selling the business right now instead of keeping it and growing it?
To be very honest, I am quite reluctant to sell it because they are like my babies, one of these ASINs that I've created myself. But the only reason why I'm selling is because I'm a Hong Kong citizen. So I was educated in Australia and I was given the right to stay to work to get the permanent residence and then later on the citizenship. But at that time, I gave up that opportunity and then chose to come back to Hong Kong because Hong Kong at that time was like a very vibrant country, has really good economy at that time. So more opportunities here. But then now, I think about the political changes in Hong Kong to move back to Australia because I didn't choose to do what I was in the opportunity that I had before. So that's why now, in order to move back there to get permanent residence, I would have to invest in a business, like a physical business that I would run and that I would hire local employees for. And then I have to quite a heavy investment to show the government that I have this sum of money in the bank account to back myself up for the next 4 or 5 years. So that's why they need a large sum of investment at one go in our business that contribute to the community. And at the same, it actually serves me well because actually I've become so interested in early childhood education. I'm actually going to take a part-time master degree course to study early childhood development and psychology. And actually, my husband is a music teacher for children. So actually, we want to combine our passion, expertise, and we're going to open a school for young children, preschools and daycare, in really high demand in Australia, but they don't have enough supplies. That is a good business model. So we want to open a Montessori school in Australia. So we believe that it's going to be a very profitable business model. So that's the reason why I'm willing to sell my business to fund my next move for the family.
I understand. Okay. So let me ask you then about your experience as you were building the business. What did you find that really helped you scale? What type of things did you try that really worked for you?
To be very honest with you, I'm not a very sophisticated, polished or professional seller, to be very honest, because actually my main job was to be a stay-at-home. I actually have been a mom full-time ever since, but then I was running Amazon business on the side. So I don't know too much about marketing or advertising, tactics to really scale. I know they exist. I know that I should use Instagram, I should use Pinterest, I should use Facebook, I should build an audience. But to be honest, I haven't done any of this. I just simply use PPC. That's the only thing I've done. Fortunately, for all of my products, they have worked well, for me. So I just basically just launched with PPC, just increase my PPC spend. And then at the most, I've just used coupon codes only to promote them, for a short period of time or when I'm just launching them to get the rank. So I don't have a big launch like normal big brands do, normal professional sellers do. But still, quite that I was able to get quite a lot of reviews quite quickly, that all 5-star. And my products have been growing slowly, I would say, like more slowly than other products. And now my best-selling products, they've got like more than 1,500 reviews. And the average reviews of all of my products is about 4.7 star, which is pretty good. But I haven't really done too much to scale the business. But I know that if I had the time, especially like in the last year, like COVID-19, the schools are closed. So my daughter was at home all the time, and she's like 2 years old. It's the most difficult time, very fussy. That's why I haven't enough time to really scale it. But I know in order to scale, I have a Pinterest account, I have Instagram, Facebook account, I have beautiful posts there, but I just haven't really managed them, haven't really like promoted them or to like create an audience. And also I know that I wanted to use like influencers on, these platforms, because I know there are a lot of young moms there who like visually pleasing products. And this is exactly the strength of my products. They are practical, but the special point is that they are very visually attractive and appealing. Like they draw eyeballs usually. So when my customers will give me feedback, they post their pictures of their babies using my products on Instagram or Facebook, they got so many compliments, and a lot of their friends ask them, where did you get that from? And then they will give them my link, So that's why I get a lot of repeat customers or customers that have bought it for themselves. They buy the products again for other people. And also like word of mouth, receive compliments from, my customers a lot. So I know that this group of people, they're all on those platforms. All of them also buy from Etsy and eBay. These are also the platforms where that I should, or the new buyer, should promote or sell my products on as well.
Yeah, makes sense. So it sounds like a lot of the growth came, quite organically, really, because other than PPC and the odd, like you say, Pinterest post, a lot of it was spread from word of mouth. And because of the great designs, basically attracted a lot of attention by the right audience. So
I think so. Yeah, actually, all of my main products are organically like on the first few spots that's on the top for many keywords, for all the main keywords as well as other relevant keywords. So a lot of the traffic just comes organically, basically.
Okay, that makes sense. You mentioned a few things there in terms of opportunities, which we will dig into in a short while. I just want to ask you, because you were mentioning about PPC just now, like what do you currently do in terms of marketing then for the business right now? Because you mentioned that it seems like a lot of traffic is also coming organically.
To be honest, nothing. To be very honest, the only thing I do is just PPC. And that's the only thing I know how to. Like, it's almost embarrassing to say this, honestly. But yeah, I don't really know how to do other marketing. I know I should do them, but I don't really have the expertise. I don't have the time to manage them. So I don't really do much marketing. The only thing is just PPC within Amazon. And also, they're just sponsored products ads. Not even sponsored brands. Not even like video ads. I have videos on my products, but I haven't really like run video ads. And yeah, I know I should do them, but I just haven't had the time to manage that. So to be honest, there's a lot of low-hanging fruits, a lot of potential to grow money on the table that I just haven't had the time to just like, just get on them to really get them done, honestly.
Sure. So it sounds like in the right hands with someone who has more extensive marketing experience, that's definitely a potential growth opportunity.
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you then, because it says on the listing that you spend roughly around 2 hours per week maintaining the business. Can you just describe briefly what's the type of work and the amount of work that you do to keep the FBA business going?
To be very honest, like in the last year, like the whole 2020, because of COVID-19 and the lockdown and everything, so I didn't really have the time to do any marketing. So the only thing I did was the 2 hours I spent every week is just to place orders with my suppliers. That's it. And also arranged for the inspection, arranged for the logistics, for them to be shipped to the US. That's the only thing I did. And also, of course, like sometimes answering customers' emails and inquiries. But that's about it. I should spend time on PPC management or like advertising and maybe like creating A+ content. Some of my listing have A+ content, some of them don't yet. So the 2 hours mainly spent on inventory management, placing orders, the logistics like freight forwarder, and also like answering customers' emails. That's all.
Okay, understand. So yeah, it sounds like it's quite hands-off for the time being, relatively easy to maintain. I was going to ask you, Shirley, so, if someone who was interested in buying the business, but they weren't familiar with FBA or the baby care niche, what would you recommend are some of the skills that they should learn in order to step into the business and maintain it from day one?
First of all, I think if someone is not familiar with FBA, I actually have a course that I've purchased. I can share with the new buyer. And then so it takes them from A to Z to learn everything about FBA, from product research down to like negotiation with suppliers or like freight forwarder, and also like how to handle reviews, how to get reviews and things like that. So if I have this course, I can share with the new buyer. At the same time, I would say that definitely the trends, you have to look at the competitions, look at the trend. I've noticed trends, and that's why I have created new products based on the change of trends. And also, I think for the PPC, I think the person has to learn how to like manage PPC well, or maybe like be able to outsource that to someone, to a company or an agency that can manage for them. And then marketing, that's something I know that a lot of people choose to outsource if it's not like a big organization that has the in-house team to do that. So for the new buyer, I think, because I myself am someone that doesn't really use social media platforms. I only just have Facebook account, that's all. I'm not even active on it. But for someone who knows how to use this and they're active users, it's just like second nature to them to use them. So definitely, post things on them and then get an audience. So I think that's about it. And for the supply chain, factories management. So actually, I've already established like really strong, very good relationship with my suppliers. And these suppliers were really, really like, handpicked. In the past 3 years of like different suppliers, some of them were really horrible that turned my whole FBA business into a nightmare in the very beginning, like back in 2018. Some of them actually like really betray me and screw me over by copying my product, damaging my products like on purpose so that they will reach Amazon damaged or stained, so that I would receive a lot of complaints. So this kind of thing, of course, like I always resolved that problem, of course, fire the manufacturer. But these are things that the new buyer can benefit from, is that the relationship I have established with the really good, reliable suppliers who are very good in communication, who are like more highly educated, have like, a very high reliability. And then they also have really good price, also like production lead time, and also the quality control. All of this like really vetted, so many of them. And then I've got like 3 to 4 really, really good ones that, the new buyer can continue to work with. And the supply chain, also same thing. Like without having a good freight forwarder, it can be a headache. But then again, like based on my experience, I've worked with different ones. And then now there are 2 that I work with, they have the best prices and the best lead time. So for example, like we use Medicine, which is the fast vessel that can leave China port and then arrive in LA ports in the US within just 12 days, when other slower vessels maybe take 16 days or more. So they have their own private dockyard to unload the goods, which saves so much time, because when you don't have your own private dockyard to unload the goods, you have to, the LA port is so congested. So it can take days, more than a week just to unload the goods. So that would cause big delay. But usually Medicine is very expensive to use. When you use US freight forwarder, the price could be almost double of a normal slow vessel, which established like such good relationship with my freight forwarder. And I feel like they've shipped so many, cargoes for me. So they give me a huge discount, and it's stable. It's going to be the same for the whole 2021. Yeah, we have this like, a commitment. So that's why I don't think you have to worry too much about this supply chain and also the freight forwarder. This area, no headache, because I've already solved all the problems beforehand.
That's great to hear. You've already mentioned exploring different marketing channels as a potential opportunity. What else would you say are the growth opportunities for the business if you did stay with it?
Okay. So other than, the marketing platforms like social media platforms, and of course, they're selling on other platforms as well. That would be a good thing to do, such as selling on Etsy, selling on eBay. I see my product being resold on eBay for like higher prices. And some customer even email me, it's like, how come I bought this for a higher price and I just saw your product on Amazon right now? So like selling on eBay would be definitely a good thing to do, and maybe some other like online platform. And another thing is actually I've been approached by quite a lot of buyers, like potential buyers in Australia. A lot of them ask me like, why don't you sell this in Australia? For us to buy from the US, delivery charge is higher and things like that. So actually I have quite a lot of interest in Australia, and then some of my products have been bought by Australian customers too. I got approached by someone who was a buyer for David Jones in Australia, the biggest department store. And also she was also a buyer of Harrods. So they're physical store, they're physical like department stores. And then that lady approached me and said, I really love your product. We bought your product, it's beautiful. So we want to sell them. We want to help you sell them to David Jones. Would you be interested? Like wholesale. So actually things would be going well, but then because of the coronavirus, so everything just stopped because all the physical stores like struggle during this period. So that sort of like, got paused. And then also Japan also have bought some of my products. Someone from Japan, like a buying office for the retail, like physical retail shops, actually approached me and said that they have bought some of my products and then they really like them. And then they asked me for the minimum quantity for wholesale. So they want to sell them in the physical shops. But then again, because of coronavirus, like some of their clients actually have closed down the business in Osaka and Tokyo. Actually, we were at the stage that they were almost going to place the order, because actually we even tried to custom make the different sizes for Japan market, because my size for the US market. So I think like when the coronavirus problem is over, and then the economy started to recover. I do believe that even that selling wholesale to physical retail shops, a good way to expand the business too.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, just one more thing. Of course, Amazon marketplaces too. How can we forget that? So other marketplaces such as the UK and maybe like other countries like the European marketplaces, all of them, or even Japan, I think all of this should be explored as well.
Yeah, lots of growth opportunities here. Let me ask you, Shirley, what would you say are some of the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
I think just regulation, probably, like maybe compliance, because they're baby products, so they need to be tested and they need to be like certified with the CPC and the CPSC. At this moment, they don't require this at this moment, not for my products. But I know that Amazon is moody. I mean, change like from time to time. So suddenly they will just change the policy and say that from today onwards, we're doing it. So I think better have them ready. So to expand in this niche as well, to, develop other products as well, I think that's just to be on the safe, just get the certificates, get the, the licenses or, get things tested. I'm sorry that I forgot to answer you about like the growth in this niche, because most of the products I develop are based on my daughter's needs. As she grows up, I can see that maybe I can grow into the toddler niche as well, not just only baby, but like toddler. For example, some toddler toys, something like developmental toys that help them develop, their intellect. So something like that, intelligent child play, that is also a very good niche to look into that would be complementary to my baby niche. Because I have generated a lot of like loyal customers that like my products, and some of them actually buy my products like year after year, maybe as gifts to their friends. So I think that these moms, they also grow with me, their baby also grows with me. So I think some other toddler products also would be a good thing to do too. And they also have to be aware of like CPC as well. So the risk is mainly for the compliance, I would say.
Yeah, that all makes sense for sure. So, I mean, Shirley, I've just got the last few questions here for you as we wrap up this interview. How much support are you offering buyers?
Well, as much as they need, I think. I mean, I can support them for, let's say, a month or two, like via email or phone calls or, Zoom meeting, whatever they need, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty flexible because I want someone who buys my business to be able to succeed and also like take my brand to the next level. So I'm sort of like stuck with my own obligations. So that's why I can't really, also with my own like limited skills and expertise in like, online marketing. So I can't really take my brand to the next level, but I'm very sure like the next buyer can. Where someone with more time, also like knows more about online marketing. So definitely they can take it to the next level, and I do want to see that happen. So that's why like I want to provide as much support as the new buyer needs.
Great to hear. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Of course, yeah, definitely. That makes perfect sense, yeah.
And are you open to negotiating seller financing or something like an earnout?
Of course, like full cash upfront deal would be ideal, I would say. But of course, I understand, some buyers might want to pay like 80-90% upfront and then a little bit like afterwards. And I can understand that. And that is also like negotiable. That can be considered.
Great to hear. Last question from me here, Shirley. If you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why would you say that this is a business worth buying?
Well, first of all, I think the brand equity is quite strong. One thing very interesting to know is that I've increased the price of one of the best-selling products by $1 recently. So I was thinking, maybe the sales will drop a little bit, let's see. But surprisingly, like for almost a month now, the sales has actually increased a lot. And also like in January, the sales has just exploded. The valuation you see and also P&L you see is up to December 2020. But then that January now, like this month has been so strong. It's not even the end of the month yet, but then the revenue is already around 60,000, which is quite a lot higher than 42,000. And also I would expect, because I have increased one of the product price by $1, and also one of my product, the packaging is going to be improved so that the FBA cost, the FBA fee is going to be reduced by $1. So that's $2 saving there per unit without changing anything else. So that's $2 extra net profit per unit per product. So I think the potential is just great. So the net profit this month, I believe, is going to be like around 16,000, a lot higher than the 11,196 that you've got there for the average for the past 6 months. And you can see that in the past 6 months, it has been like growing quite steadily. I think the strong growth in my products, also the products that I'm selling. When I started selling them 3 years ago, they were not even like really well-known products, to be honest. Like not many were looking for these kind of products. But then when you go to Google Trends and also you just look at Amazon, like these products have been like on the rise. The trend is just keep rising. And then one of my products, it didn't even have a category when I started selling. I was one of the first people to start selling in that category. But now Amazon has a real category for that. So there's an actual name for that category. But I'm one of the best sellers in that category. I think the product choices I've got and also the unique design concept I've got, I think these are the things, the brand equities, and also the opportunity for the future. And then it's proven by the strong growth in the last 6 months and also like even just January. So I believe this will continue to just go up going on when we continue into 2021, like later on this year.
Yeah, exciting times. Definitely sounds like your business experiencing a lot of growth. Is there anything you'd like to share that you think I might have missed?
Not really. I think that we've covered almost everything.
Thank you very much for joining me for today's interview, and I hope that your business gets picked up in the near future.
Thank you very much for having me here today.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 49272. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.